Hey everybody, welcome back to Full Circle with Joyce. I'm here with Benjamin Zulu and we're talking about what to do if you're tired of dating. And you've shared some pointers with us. You know, number one, also just saying sometimes it's just because we're also not ready.
You're right.
We need to understand that. And I think that point is very important to emphasize because too many of you rush into, you're not ready for just a simple dating relationship, but you wanted to mature into this romantic relationship. And your dating period is to prepare not just you, but even just to see what you can handle in marriage. And if there are things you've not sorted out while you're dating,
That's right.
you are never going to sort them out
And readiness
while
is
you're
not
married.
clocking 30. Readiness
That's
is
right.
not clocking 35.
It's a state of your maturity.
Thank you. And have you processed anything that might be unfinished inside of you? Then we said, convert your waiting into a mission.
Right.
Then we said, prepare for a journey, not an event. Now we are at point 4 that we are saying, change your strategy. Stop sitting and waiting. And especially women, you have a tendency of just hoping and watching and waiting. And some brothers were told that Adam fell asleep and the woman was created when he was asleep. If you use the wrong analogy, you'll end up with the wrong approach.
Okay.
The wrong strategy. Adam was alone. There were no
So
people now. Now we are many. Men are supposed to hunt.
Yes.
I meet men who are so frustrated. The biggest thing I want to announce to men when it comes time for dating, change your social circles, especially if your boys are polygamous, many girls here, and you wanted a proper family life. Change that social circle. You never meet good women when you're hanging with bad boys.
Yeah.
Any good woman will check who you hang out, and they know sooner or later you begin
be
to
like
know
them.
So for ladies, I want to ask them to adopt intentional dating strategies.
Okay.
I teach it's a whole course, it's a whole coaching program, but I'll tell you the key tenets. Number one, dress in a manner that says you're in the market. There's such a virtual space called dating space. Stop dressing like a smaller version of your mom. If all your clothes are as high on the neck and as low on the leg like your mom, you are fully taken in the eyes of everyone. You are a mother, married, wife, contented, and you're saying, leave me alone. Your dressing should not say like your mother's, leave me alone. Your dressing should say, you want to talk?
You want my number?
You know, hey, what's up?
Right.
Some ladies are so uncomfortable with attention because your mom grew you telling you avoid boys, men are bad. And
that's not to say dress provocatively.
Come bring pregnancy. We are not saying you violate your respect. No, we are saying your dressing should be teasing, playful, easy, modern, youthful, dynamic, as opposed to conservative, traditional, laid back.
Like show yourself as a lady.
Yes. The simple thing is make sure your clothes are fitting and they are not even 1 inch bigger. You should not dress flamboyant. You should dress elegant.
That's right.
In the village, they make clothes using materials enough for 5 dresses. And that's just for one. There's tier 1, second floor, third floor, and the flare, and then one placing here and another one here. So you look like a walking package. Akiingia kwa gari kwanza anainua hizi, anaingiza, and you get it. You look like a whole. That's not how you dress when you're in the dating market.
Okay.
You dress easy. You value style.
Okay.
More stylish, and ladies always wear heels.
It brings, and it basically this is to say, bring out your confidence too.
Switch on your charm. Thank you. Switch on your charm. Thank you for bringing that one. It takes confidence to handle attention because most people don't like attention.
Right.
Then take photos. Be on social media. Be active, even if naturally you are inactive. The virtual space, people can't tell who is single and who is taken. We are not written somewhere, I'm single, guys. It's those small signs. And make sure you you don't lie to people. And there are many other do's and don'ts in that space, but change your strategy.
Okay.
Also use offline. Offline method is showing up in new places. Stop hanging just with your friends. Now start going to your friends' event. The event of your friends' friend. Okay, or just driving along with new people. Just invite yourself to things. That wedding committee, you're not being invited, show up and give 200. Even if you have no money, just give some money to be around. You're meeting new people. It's not about money now. It's about consciously penetrating new circles.
Okay.
And participating in events now. Especially events that have young people, you're that age group and all that. Do not discriminate the gender. You can meet good people through any gender. You can be hanging. And don't assume when you see a man and a woman that they are couple.
Dating.
No, always check. They could just just be friends, and this guy could be good for you.
Yeah.
So I have many, so change your strategies. You cannot doing things the way you've been doing them and expecting different results.
Sure.
Another thing is, decide how badly you want this. Some people come asking, where are the people? I can't see good women. But you yourself, you're also lazy and withdrawn. You expect them to come there where you are seated. The Bible says the lazy person cannot even serve food from the plate to their own plate. You need to be, there's an energy you need to master and say, how badly do I want? Then go for it. Women don't, we have been told not to act desperate or behave easy or put effort. Your effort is supposed to be there, but indirect. You don't tell them you like them, don't tell them
don't
you
ask
love.
them out.
Don't do that. Men hate having to turn down a woman. And some will even take advantage of that liking.
Yeah.
What you do is catch his attention by whichever way. And then master body language. Body language is so safe, it cannot be misinterpreted.
Right.
You
Ladies, and just, I like when you talked about charm and body language.
Yes.
And it's again, this is not about being provocative, but even something as simple as a smile. There's something about a smile.
Or a hug that says 1 second longer.
Unajua Sunday school hapana we. Sunday school tulifundisha tutaanza kusalimia watu na
1 meter distance.
1 meter.
Okay, so a smile, a glance.
Right.
You can always communicate liking without saying it. And once you catch a guy's attention, leave it to him. If he pursues you, good. If he doesn't, forget that one. Go to another one.
Let me just get to some messages
right.
here. I like this question. Someone is saying, can you advise men on how to dress to show they're in the market searching?
All right. Thank you for that. Brothers, you need to iron your clothes, please.
Yes.
You need to brush your shoes.
Brush your teeth.
This girl, say that in hushed tone.
Brush your teeth and smell good. Let me tell you something. A brother who smells good, that is, any girl
Smell
is
is
won
the
by
most
that.
remembered sense.
Yeah.
That's what you remember for the longest. Have you met a person and they remind you, just because of the perfume, they remind you of another person?
Yeah.
We remember the scent a lot. So always, men, avoid, and please master your natural weaknesses. If you sweat a lot, always carry a cologne. Wear a t-shirt, not a vest that has no shoulders. If you sweat a lot. If your feet also have that tendency, there's a powder you can buy. You can buy socks. Avoid wearing socks that 20 bob. Those that cannot absorb sweat.
Yeah.
So for men is pay attention to your looks consciously.
Right. Yeah. Iron your shirt. It's not about expensive clothes. Iron your shirt.
And make sure they're fitting.
Make sure you're well groomed, like you
Please shave.
comb your hair or get
shave.
a haircut or something.
Do it well.
And
And don't
smell
wear
good.
the shirt that looks like a parachute. You know, there's some shirt that is so big, when it gets wind, it looks like a parachute.
Don't be sagging your pants like
And
nobody
yes,
likes
I don't
that.
wear a trouser that's 5 sizes bigger. It looks like a flag when you're against the wind.
Oh, Lord. Okay, someone here is saying, Joyce, I'm tired of dating since my man is very violent. I'm 23 years old. What do I do?
What are you doing with a man at 23? Please
they're
grow up
violent.
until 25. Your frontal lobe, your brain will finish maturing at 25. So those of you who are below 25 and you're tired of dating, you're like that deer went to the dance and danced herself lame before her turn. You came to the competition, but you dance yourself lame before your turn. Grow up until 25. Acquire some skills, establish foundation for your career, network, socialize freely without specializing on anyone until 25.
Someone here says, I tend to think that not everyone is meant to get married. Same way people can choose not to get children. You can choose not to get married, but you will only discover this through your journey of personal development. You may realize through dating that that path is not for you. That's Lauren from Nairobi.
And we don't rule that out. Paul was celibate. He was living a celibate life. Today we are talking about those who want to get married.
But even so, because I was that chick at one point, after a breakup, I was like, by the way, I don't want to date. I don't think marriage is for me. And it was literally because of one experience. But you realize, it was my pastor who told me this too. He was like, for as long as you sit down and even daydream about having someone in your life, celibacy and you saying you're not going to get married is not for you. Good. Because the reason Paul was able to do it was it wasn't a factor. It wasn't a temptation to him. And you can't embark on such a journey if you've not committed to it. So if you're saying it might actually be from a point of bitterness, right? Rather than it is actually what God has for you.
For many people, it's a point of bitterness.
Yes, it may not necessarily be what God has for you, but just as well said, there are people who that's not for them, and it's okay. We don't need to, judge them for it. That's their choice, and that's how they've chosen to live their lives. Let me see. Joyce, to be honest, some relationships can send you to the grave alive. Wololo. Mostly when it turns to obsession. Napenda show yako. It's a continuous learning process. Guys, keep on watching. Obsessions, Tena. Benjamin, I'll ask you to touch on that later. But let me just go through as many messages. Hey, Joyce, loving the show. Say hi to Benjamin. Personally, I've learned to really respect people with good character because I have lived with a narcissist for 5 years, having 2 kids together. But it's a year now I left, and I feel in this cruel world, to meet a loving and caring, good-mannered person is something very important. The good-hearted people are rare. That's Mercy from Eldoret. Another says, Joyce, I'm loving the show. And I personally think that most of the people who say they are tired of dating is because they have gone through a lot of emotional turmoil, and they just don't know how to get past that.
That's
My
right.
question is, how does someone get over the emotional stress and baggage caused by the previous relationship and move on to something new? Great question.
You need help. You need somewhere to process that. You need a professional. Please see whoever you need to see, but you need to know, you need to realize that you need to process that. The same way you would process an injury before you move on. If you continue playing when you have an injury, you stop thinking about scoring and focus on protecting that injury. So don't continue dating or looking out there when you are still hurting.
Right.
That will complicate and hinder you. So please pause and heal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone here is saying they're enjoying the great insights. What do you do if you're tired of dating because of being hurt? Again, I think we've just addressed it. They're asking if it's all right to remain a bachelor for life if that's what you've decided. My answer to this is, if you've already decided that that is what is for you, you don't even need to ask if it's okay.
By the time you're asking,
it's because you know something is not fully settled within you.
Those people who are already settled don't even ask.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's coming from bitterness shows you that celibacy is not for you. Is it
okay? Yeah, it's not for you then. I think there's something you need to deal with there. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Someone here is saying the problem with most of us is that we're not sure of what we want in life. Forgetting life haina rehearsal. That's Dan Mukurinu watching. Dan Mukurinu wakiandutu thika. Someone here says, hey Joyce, I'm in my early 30s, hardworking lady, growing my business. I'm God-fearing, a good woman, loyal and respectful to men. I'm a good girlfriend. Problem is, I've never desired marriage. I've never wanted to get married, and I have nothing against it or men. I just feel it's not for me. What does Benjamin think about me? Okay.
I like that. Now, what I think about you, my sister, is that if you are at peace with your decision, go on.
Yeah.
The only caveat is this: if there are times you fantasize and wish, and you see married people and you wish one day you live like that, you need to re-examine your decision. I'm happy when you are early 30s, you have career on course, but many times you career women, you don't create time for socialization. You are busy throughout.
Yeah.
Even a guy checks you, I'm busy, I can't, not this week, not this week, not this week. Many times you need also to socialize.
Yeah.
Also, even if you don't want to date, sometimes can you mingle and see, you can also create important relationships. Sometimes your decision came from not meeting anybody who touched you.
Yeah. And the thing is, I think some of us can get so lost in what we're doing and in what we're pursuing. But then you wake up like 5 years, 10 years later, and you're like, man, I really wish I had someone right now.
And that's Joyce. Some of people who are swearing celibacy, they're very young and their energy is high. Your health is very perfect. A time will come when you need practical help, and that's when companionship is required. Factor that before you decide to live alone.
Yeah.
Think of yourself when you're 50 or 60, when your health is not that top.
And let's talk about like age, really, and what sort of correlation is there between that and being tired with dating? Okay, so these ones who say I'm 25 and below, so 19 years old, I don't know. Those ones
they're not tired. They're confused.
Okay.
They're not supposed to be dating at that time.
Yeah.
You see, Joyce, before 25, your mind can't handle emotions, can't reason. You are so foggy.
Yeah.
The most moronic, the most self-destructive decisions are made before 25 because your mind is still growing.
So let's put those ones aside.
Yes,
then.
that's another group.
And let's talk about the ones who are 30 or they're approaching 30. And again, we know there's this societal pressure which we're trying to put behind us, but there's a pressure nonetheless.
Yeah.
Right? And maybe they've tried and they had really hoped. Maybe even 2020 was their year. and they were dating someone, kidogo kidogo last week, things have broken up. For someone at that point in their lives, or they're 35, they're 40, and maybe they just haven't been able to find the right person yet, and they're saying, I'm tired of dating. Do these strategies that you've shared with us still
there's
apply?
something I'm thinking as you're describing. I want you to start again dating, thinking of dating involves research, examining, meeting many people with a skeptical attitude, not an impatient wish that I hope this one now works. I hope this one now works. Even in negotiations, in business, the person who comes with a skeptical attitude ends up with the best deal. Because of their willingness to walk away, not to force things, they force the seller to prove why they should buy here.
Yeah. But you do it carefully too, so that you're not pushing away. Like, you also don't seem so uninterested.
No, this is the combination. Thank you for bringing this. Is a combination. You are completely engaged in the process, but you're not particular with one person. When you go to buy a car, you're determined. You have the money, you're ready to buy a car, but you're not forcing this particular bazaar to sell you. You are going until you get the best car. When you get it now, you buy. That's how you approach dating. You're very active. You are meeting on people. You're looking forward to it, but you're so patient with it, knowing that I will not force with one guy. Some of those people are tired after dating only one person. You fell in love before you knew whether this one was going anywhere.
Right.
I tell ladies to first, once you see a guy is likable, examine him closely before you fall in love.
Yeah. I need to read this one. Hey Joyce, I can never miss out on your show. I'm 29 years old and I'm literally tired of dating. I was in a 2-year relationship and the man literally cheated on me nikiwa na yeye kwa nyumba. He left me in the house, went and met up with a lady and they did things. He was always flirting with so many ladies. Let me try and cut the story short here. Saying I think he's getting back, but she's not really sure. She's too scared that men are all the same today, just out to disappoint, cheat, and not sure of what they want.
No. Let me correct you. What were you doing in his house? You should not have started living with him before you take him through the process of examination and marrying him. Ladies, living together should come after wedding. I have breaking news.
Wow.
Not before. If he's flirting out there, what are you doing with him? You should have disqualified him and gone on to the next candidate. Why were you focusing on him? So it is not him who hurt you. It's you who jumped to the deep end before you learned how to swim.
I have nothing else to say. Benjamin, thank you for coming onto the show. Wow. Please give us your contacts.
Facebook page, Benjamin Zulu KE. Email benjaminzuluke@gmail, or other platforms, Benjamin Zulu KE. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Benjamin. Thank you for being real and very candid with us. These are hard conversations to have sometimes, but you know what? It's the truth and we need to learn and to grow from it. So hopefully you guys are better people because of it. And be encouraged too in your journey. Use these strategies. Yeah? Use these strategies. With that said, we're going to take a break now. Dennis is here ready to work out. And so we'll be getting ready for that and see you after this break.